fuck. Holy shit. Oh my god. Hello, everyone. Welcome the fuck back. I'm so excited to be able to finally play episode 4. I'm so excited to finally be reunited with my PC. Without further ado, let's start here. You can see how many playthroughs I actually have. I've tried going through multiple traits. You don't care. Disaster looms its tallest yet over Scarlet Hollow. Let's wake up. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seems so far away you can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. So just a very quick recap. We did not plead or bargain with the ghost, so the library is pretty fucked, but nobody got hurt. And I genuinely, at the time, thought that that was the best course of action, and I stand by that decision. With the traits that I've chosen, we're about to have some really difficult times ahead because they happen to be the perfect choices for the first 2 episodes, and then everything else is just... yeah. I am worried about what's to come in this one, and we did hang out with Tabitha in the last one. But you know that the furious spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. yet lingers, locked behind the doors of Town Hall, stood tied to the earth by its hatred of you and Tabitha. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine, but your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Kanika says, "Hope you made it home okay? Haven't heard from Stella since last night. How about you?" You check your messages, there's nothing from Stella. I'm gonna text Stella. I'm gonna say, Kanika and I are pretty worried about you. Please respond. Silent minutes. Message sits undelivered. Let's see. I'm gonna say, does Stella disappear like this sometimes? Kinda, but with everything going on, I don't feel comfortable letting her run off on her own. We should look for her, right? Come to the town, we should stick together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Oh, I want to check the closet. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it, the doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. And judging by the residue that was left behind, you're pretty sure you know the culprit. That means he was in your room. But was he there while you were out the previous day? Or did he enter while you slept unaware just a few feet away? Ooh. Wayne is bold, man. Entering my bedroom? That's some Edward Cullen shit. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Let's take a shower. Might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. Ah, this musty bathroom. Ugh, did not miss it. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you... let's see, what are we thinking of? Not the afterlife, I mean... not Stella... I'm gonna think about the door in the clinic. Still drawn to it, even now. You'll be going back there today, you're sure of it. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Let's head downstairs. It's time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. Now, I've had alternative playthroughs with other traits, with other choices, and in one of them I took the ghost's bargain, in another one Tabitha did, in a third one I resolved it peacefully for everyone at the damage of a previous episode. So if you guys want to see any of the aftermath of those things, please let me know, and I will figure out a way to make a shorter video just with like the key points, if you would be interested in that. They're striking. This week of all weeks. As if I don't have enough on my plate already. Your cousin's posture is tense, but that really isn't surprising, all things considered. You probably don't have long before she leaves to handle the strike. Okay, Mine's trouble. You should just sell the estate, get out while you still can. She's not gonna do that. I want to talk about what happened last night. I'm gonna ask, do you regret leaving Charlie down there? Not at all, and I don't care if Grandma Eddie killed him. The past is the past, and neither of us had anything to do with it. We can always build a new town hall. We can never get back lost years. So ghosts are real. I still can't get over that. I can. What does this actually change about anything? I still have a mind to run, and you still have a funeral to attend. That's pretty harsh and cold. Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. Talk about the strike. How are you feeling about the strike? You can be honest with me. She's not gonna be honest with me. It's gonna get ugly. People are gonna lose jobs, and if I don't play things right, this town is going to be devastated by the fallout. I'm used to playing the part of the villain. If that's what people see me as for holding this place together, then so be it. They weren't predicting the strike. That's just a very stupid assumption. Usually I'm pro-union. Do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. Geez, that's a lot. No. I'm gonna empathize with her. I'm gonna say you're in a really difficult spot right now. Gee, I hadn't noticed. Hopefully it'll all be over soon. Okay. Wish I chose a different option. I would have said, you should probably give them what they want, you know? Yeah. I'm just gonna remain silent. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe, no more hijinks. Ooh, a worried look. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay? Okay. Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Let's fucking fuel up. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get the chance to eat. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. You know what? I'm in the UK right now, and I wanted to make a PB&J the other day, and we were out of jam. So we went to a Tesco's, we're looking at jams. I came to the realization again, like I've known this for a while, but jams here suck ass. They're so bad. Like, God, I wish I could have brought a jar of plum jam from home, because that shit slaps. This is just like Jell-O in a jar. It's too sugary, it's too watery and gelatinous. What's wrong with UK jam? I mean, seriously. Let's head to town. It's time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. Oh, good God. Holy shit, the chills that just went down my spine, the goosebumps on my arms. These guys are fucking nasty. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. I don't think that would be the first thing I notice. Oh, do I have to have keen eye to notice this shit? Glimpses of pale figures dot your periphery. You haven't seen ditchlings in the middle of the day before. They're getting bolder. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hi, Avery. they're so cute. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. I was up most of the night, totally wired on adrenaline. Even if I had been able to chill out a bit, knowing that thing was right down the street. Yeah, not super conductive to a good night's sleep. Does the library look different? Like, can you see the haunting from outside? It's boarded up, but I can't say I've gotten close enough to see much of anything yet. We could always check it out together. Oh! Though, maybe we'd better not tempt it. That ghost seemed pretty desperate to eat your soul last night, and I don't even know if I mean that metaphorically or literally. Hopefully, some slapdash plywood is all it takes to contain that thing. I don't like the thought of it spilling out onto the main street if it smells a drop of scarlet blood nearby. Glad Tabitha was with me. God, yeah. I'm glad Tabitha was with me. If I was by myself, I probably wouldn't have had the guts to walk out of there. Oh yeah? I'm glad that you and your cousin got the chance to bond last night. Good to see her care about something other than the mine. Am I gonna flirt with Avery? Yeah. You were coming to see me? That's sweet. What can I say? I'm someone who knows what they want. Oh my god! I would have walked up here at the crack of dawn, but I figured I should let you sleep at least a little longer. Though not too much longer. I had to make sure he didn't go running off into trouble. Not without me. I think at this point, we don't have to even be on a first name basis. I think we can switch it to babe. Good God. Thank you, writers. There's ditchlings everywhere. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so inflappable. I'm gonna say Kanika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, the diner is hopping. It's absolutely packed with miners. They must be using it as a home base for the strike. Oh, by the way, there's a strike going on. I'm sure you already know that, though. You have to imagine Tabitha would have told you this morning. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Sharpay faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but like, are they dangerous? They're not gonna eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? They're not a big deal, just hit them with a stick or something. Oh, that's fucking gross. I don't know, they might, not if you eat them first. Not if you eat them first. Avery laughs. Good strategy. That'd really show him. I wonder what they'd taste like. Organ meat, maybe? That might go well in a pie. There was some thyme and rosemary in there, sauteing with some root vegetables, then pair with a nice red. Yeah, I bet that'd really freak out the rest of them. It'd freak out anyone, and I love that for you. Let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. You and Avery start back down the path to town. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. She looks so good! Drake, you made it! And you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Now that I'm seeing you! God, love me a goth girl. That's coming from a goth girl. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Better after seeing Drake. Shut up! Oh my god! That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted, and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold, and I wasn't buying it, but as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from looking for Stella. Still think rational explanation, I don't know. I don't think it matters if someone's manning the store, good God. I'm supposed to see her mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told us all last night. You're right. Maybe she's gonna read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her. Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic thing. A lot's happened in the past few days. Ugh, I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. I can't keep having all these existential crises. There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. Yeah, I'm gonna choose that option for sure. I think last night just pushed her over the edge. I know I've only known her for a couple of days, but it feels like she has a tendency to run from difficult emotions. Usually she just changes the subject, but I get this time she wound up literally running. You're absolutely right, and as her friends, we can't let her be alone at a time like this. I've made that mistake before. Plus, she could get mobbed by those weird little creatures, or worse. Exactly. This is no time for anyone to be off on their own. Who knows what kind of weird stuff is out there. After the past couple of nights, I wouldn't be surprised if there were actual Bigfoots in the woods, actually, the term is big feets in the woods, just waiting to eat any human who wanders too far from civilization. Do Bigfoots thirst for human flesh? Is that some kind of common knowledge I wasn't keyed in on? I wouldn't be surprised, is all I'm saying. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where to first? God, imagine saying that again. Check out the church, the mines, the diner. God, let's check in on Oscar and Rosalina. They should be at the old Maxwell place. Right? Yes, the place your oh-so-generous cousin decided was suitable for habitation. Hey, it's better than nothing, I guess. It's a roof over their heads for the time being, or what's left of a roof. After everything they've been through, I can't believe she made them stay in a place like that. You don't get far before the sound of growling and desperate hisses grabs your attention. Oh God, you turn to see a ditchling approach a cornered Pixel in an alley. He must have slipped out of the library with everyone else last night. Thank God Pixel is okay. The ditchling, distracted from its hunt by your arrival, cranes its neck to face you, its eyes settling on you with alien indifference. In the distance, you hear the furious patter of many feet approaching. You won't be alone for long. Fucking punt it, yes! You take a deep breath and focus on the creature's body before propelling yourself towards it. Your foot connects with the ditchling hide, leaving an imprint in its body as it crashes into the wall. It makes brief eye contact with you in the alley before both you and it turn to face a peculiar sight. Oh my God! Jesus! A small pack of dogs pounce on the creature, pulling it from the wall, and then taking turns biting and tearing it until it's ripped to shreds. Is this all previous mayors of the town? Their task complete, they saunter towards you. What the? It's Daisy, and Scraps too. The dogs that ran against Mayor Jimmy in the last election. And every other dog in town, all together in some kind of ditchling hunting dog gang. Pixel timidly steps towards you. Pixel, you got out of the library. You poor cat, come here. Pixel cautiously walks towards your group before clambering into your arms. He has a comfortable heft to him. Oh, Pixel. Makes me miss my cat so much. Also, this must be an amazing moment if you have talk to animals as a trait. I guess he likes you more than me. Oh, I'm sorry, Kanika. Thanks for keeping him safe, dogs. The pack of dogs scampers off, their work done. What the hell is going on in this town? Dog politics. Pixel in tow, you and your companions continue on to the old Maxwell place. The old Maxwell place. It was clearly once a mid-century modern home, and undoubtedly quite stylish for the time, but it's been abandoned for unknown decades, and moss and vines choke its exterior, barely concealing cracked walls and dust-clouded glass. Before you can approach, the door opens, and Oscar's head pokes out from the entryway. Hello? Oh, sorry if I startled y'all. The walls here are worn down enough I could hear you coming from a block away. Good morning, Oscar. Just thought we'd stop by to check in. Thank goodness you found a Pixel. Rosalina's been beside herself. Oscar's voice is tired. He had a long night and it shows, his graying face seemingly having aged in the hours since you last saw him. Please, come on in. At least it's probably not haunted. Achievement unlocked. Pixel! Rosalina rushes forward, taking Pixel gently from your arms. Oh, look at him! Oh my god, that's so cute! Hey, Rosalina. Hey, Alexis. Look who we found on the way up here. I was so worried. I thought the ghost might have done something to him. Alexis is helping us put her room together. We don't plan on staying here long, but the girls seem to be having fun with it, thank goodness. Even after everything they've been through. Love the little sweater you got going, Oscar. Yeah, it is kind of cool. There's like this weird intercom thing and a jacuzzi. Maybe you guys could fix up the place. Doesn't seem that run down. It is a lot cooler than I thought it would be. And I've already met a ghost, so if it turns out to be haunted, that's no big deal. Y'all aren't traumatized. It's just not something you say. Yeah, I'm gonna say sorry again about the library. There is no need to apologize. It's a building. You're a person. You matter more than a pile of stones. I do kind of wish we could go back for our stuff. Thanks for letting me borrow some of your clothes, Alexis. You can borrow as much as you need. I have plenty of shirts, and you can do laundry at our house too. Of course, there are some family heirlooms that I'd rather not lose. Portraits of my parents, my father's mining jacket. I don't like the thought of that last living memories being forgotten in there. And the fact that it stole the library from me too. That one really stings. But what are you going to do? Have any of you seen Stella? We haven't been able to find her since everyone left the library last night. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? I'm guessing that's a no. Nope, we have no clue where she's gone. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. I should have done a better job warning her. Stella was practically hanging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were gonna be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. Correct. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was gonna get. Can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes that's just not gonna be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina's always saying. I suppose I do apologize more than I should. I really do. I know you've got a lot going on, but let us know if you see her around. After everything we went through last night, I'm worried about her. I'm sure she'll be okay, but you should probably get back to looking for her soon. What's gonna happen to your career now that the library is closed? Oh, said that twice. That's a good question. I was up all night wondering the same thing. If things stay the same way they are right now, it's essentially like the library burned down. The books are inaccessible, the building is unsalvageable. In that scenario, the county would have to put up money to build a new archive, or we'd have to move someplace where I can work in an existing library, and Scarlet Hollow would lose a valuable public service. Oscar. Oh man, that sucks. Move? So you and Rosalina would leave? But we're not doing that, right, Dad? We're staying here? Is there any way you can just, start over and rebuild the collection? I'm sure folks around town would be willing to pitch in. It will be a lot of work, but that's a possibility. Still, maybe it won't even have to come to that. I guess I'm gonna say, did y'all say this place has a jacuzzi? Can I try it? I only just turned on the water. I don't think I can bathe in whatever has been stuck in the pipes for the past 30 years. We're on bottled water until I get the stuff that comes out of those tops thoroughly tested. Yeah. It doesn't actually seem that bad out here. Are you joking? I can smell the wood rot from down the street. I'm sorry, I don't have smell-o-vision, Kanika. It's alright. It's a roof over our heads, and we won't have to stay here for long. I'm gonna get the library back, and our house with it. I don't care what it takes. I'm not letting that creature get the last laugh. I've been thinking. As far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal going on in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods, while entire buildings are taken over by supernatural creatures. You think there was an inciting event, right? I do. That's my thought too. It was never like this in the Hollow before. Something must have happened that kicked off all this magic stuff. Avery stares at you. Gosh, the double meaning of it all. I mean, it's obvious, right? Just things only started happening once Drake got here. Kanika shoots Avery a glare. No, we are not throwing Drake under the bus. Well, even if you wanted to, it only comes once a week, so I'm safe for a few more days. What? There was nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Babe. Sure, there's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shawl them. Nobody's gonna drag Drake into the witch hunt on my watch. Thanks, friend! I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, it's not like I'm gonna run around town telling everyone that Drake magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there is a catalyst for all of this, wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Drake getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Perlan died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time they arrived. Not to mention I started seeing things in our house before Perlan passed, I think. I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. Whatever the cause of this is, there must be some way to put this genie back in the bottle. I'm gonna do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. The town archives are unfortunately in the library. Told you putting everything online was important. No one uses paper anymore, Dad. You were right. It'll be my first project if we get the library back. I've learned my lesson. Until then, I'll just have to make do with what I can find online. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. No. Okay. We've been finding these weird stone seals. There was one in the mines and another in your basement. There might be more. These are those carvings you mentioned last night, right? To think there was something like that under my house all this time, and to think someone must have put it there. But who? This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Drake. Drake, didn't you say you felt something similar to the mine seal outside the clinic yesterday? I hope that doesn't mean something weird's about to happen there, too. Uh-oh. Losing the library is already a blow, but losing the only doctor's office in town seems like that would be bad. Here's hoping we sort things out before that becomes an issue. I think there's something in that clinic. There was this door yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it. Right. I'd almost forgotten after everything that's happened yesterday. You said there was something that reminded you of the mines, right? I see. I'll dig up what I can on the clinic. There's a lot of history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something haunting that place as well. You have a friend that lives there, right? Should we tell him that something bad might happen in his house? He might want to stay someplace else for now, if the last few nights aren't any indication. Yeah, I can shoot Reese a warning text, but I don't know if his mom will let him leave. She's got an iron grip on the poor dude, and she's probably even more of a skeptic than I was. I think Reese is the thing that's gonna happen, so I don't think getting him out is smart. Reese mentioned a movie night. Perfect cover for an investigation. Investigate the clinic. I'm sure Reese will be fine. Reese mentioned a movie night, right? It's the perfect cover for an investigation. Who knows if that would fly with Dr. Kelly, though. After last night, I'm pretty sure she's not going to let us anywhere near their house. She's the only doctor in town. She can't just ban people from the clinic, right? I don't think so, but hopefully nobody gets sick or hurt enough to justify a visit over the next couple of days. If we're gonna investigate the clinic, I think we're gonna have to break in. Whoa, that is unexpected coming from you. It's what Stella would do, and she's been 3 for 3 this week when it comes to finding spooky stuff. She's also been 3 for 3 when it comes to finding her way into mortal peril. That is astute observation, Oscar. This is why we have to find her as soon as possible. It shouldn't fall on me to suggest we do something dangerous. I'm terrible at selling it. It's not that I don't think we should figure out what's going on here. We just need to be cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before we do anything rash, okay? So how long do you think until we get like a little glimpse of a full moon and then it kind of confirms that Reese is going to transform into like a fucking werewolf type situation? It's not a cult. I'm sure they'll make sure that Pixel stays inside. Yeah. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're gonna do any serious sleuthing. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. We're gonna get the library back, and we're gonna figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? I've got a little heater running. I really hope you guys can't hear the noise of it, but if you can, I apologize. It's just gonna be a little bit of a background thing, I guess. Okay. So, no cops, diners and mines, I don't know. There's a lot we can do. I'm just worried that we have limited options and I'm not realizing it. Like, what if I pick one and then we don't get to the next? So, I don't know. Let us check out the fucking church, I guess. The church? Why? I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all the religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're in there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Kanika leads the way, taking me up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now. I've never actually been to the church. That's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? Ah! My, 4 visitors at once? On a Thursday? This is unprecedented. Who's 4th? But there's only 3 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? Sup, old people? Oh, Zane, what the fuck are you doing here? Go home! Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the mindset of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if Faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. Sometimes it takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart. But when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. I hate his little face. Pastor's little face. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night and no one's seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried, and we vote maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. So, Drake, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. What do you have to say to them that you can't say in front of us? Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter. It's alright, we can just get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. It's okay. I'm happy to talk to him. If you're sure. Guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie. We'll be right over there by the fence. That's conveniently in your line of sight. Okay. See you in a minute. Cute. Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you home with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you decided to come up to visit me. So many young people these days seem to think they can solve all their problems on their own. Meanwhile, God is right there, ready to help them, if only they'd let him into their hearts. The pastor's eyes dart back towards the alpacas. Okay, good. They're gone. You're new in town. What kind of impression did I make on you? Am I creepy? Oh, buddy! I think your problem is that you keep telling people what to do instead of actually treating them like human beings. Fucking sure, let's say that. Like, have you tried inviting folks fishing or hiking? Have you tried throwing a party? Or do you just hand people pamphlets and tell them to think about the big man upstairs? That would require people to want to do things like go fishing with me. I have put in the effort, you know. Janie is excellent at making friends, but they've all made it clear they're her friends. They tried to avoid me whenever possible. I'm sure they've even suggested she divorce me. I don't know why it's so hard. Don't know what's wrong with me. Oh no, I sound so bitter. I'm sorry. It's just that it's never been like this for me before. I had plenty of friends all through school. Were those friends animals, Pastor Daniel? It's like Scarlet Hollow itself just wants me gone. That's interesting. The fuck? The fuck? He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partially muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Or are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees. It must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, You might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Tulip made some imaginary friends and keeps telling us that they want her to go out there. Like the word of some fictional creatures she made up is going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play in somebody's old garbage. Maybe she inherited his ability to speak to animals, but she specifically speaks to ditchlings, and they tried to get her out there. But she's 7. Of course she would get some funny little idea like that. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all that junk. Oh, Tetanus Lake! Stella told me about it. How big of a trash dump are you talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it up? Yeah, Stella told me about it. Tetanus Lake. That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that, or if it would only make it sound more alluring. Okay. I guess, yeah, I can explore. How big of a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it. What's that you were saying about imaginary friends? She's just been talking about these friends of her lately. Little stories about creatures that live in the church. I'm sure she saw some animal in there and decided it was her friend. It's nothing to be overly concerned about, except the trash heap situation. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Drake. We got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners, and a few extra for me, of course. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let you all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. I hope there was nothing more important and urgent that I didn't see or skipped over. Kanika and Avery start back down the path into town, and you follow. The smallest church in Scarlet Hollow, achievement unlocked. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? Tulips apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. What to do next? I mean, if it were me, I would add the imaginary friends are, like, inviting her to the forest, the dangerous situations where we know ditchlings to be hanging out, but okay. Let's check out the diner. Great idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early. Ooh. The diner is busier than you've ever seen it. The small booths packed with miners. What is going on? There's a strike up in the mines. They've made the diner the base of their operations. Huh. Good for them. It's about time something like that happened. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize. And I can't say I have. I've been a little preoccupied. This is great for business. These fellas can have as much free coffee as they can drink if they keep piling in like this. Do you need any help? No, Sal and I can handle this. One of your friends going missing's more important than a busy shift. The miners didn't even notice you enter the diner, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. I guess the shift schedules are pretty brutal, and I'd like more vacation days. I'd love to be able to see my family around the holidays, and better health benefits would be amazing, but what if she decides to fire all of us? You're only a year or so into the work, and trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, But you figure you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck. Next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses every free second it can suck out of its workers, and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out. But we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. I can't get fired, and the company housing, that makes a big difference for me. Right, the company housing. How generous of Tabitha to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had maintenance done in decades, taking a big chunk right out of your paycheck that sure as shit ain't going towards property tax and upkeep alone. The company housing that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. We have numbers on our side, Harrison. After what happened up there the other night, damn near everyone is joining the picket line. She can't afford to lose us all. We have power here as long as we're united. I don't think they give a shit, but... Nah, none of those are good options to say. So, about the strike, the miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring on you at unison. We all know who you're related to, kid. Word travels fast, and I'll be damned if we talk business in front of you. Look, I support you guys, but maybe you can save this until next week. Tabitha's mom just died. This whole strike. No. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. Whoa, even the boss's family's on our side. Maybe this really could work. That's right. The whole town is on our side. There was a collapse less than 2 days ago, and she expects us not to riot at the thought of being forced back down there? Damn straight. Hear, hear. Still, if you support the strike, the best thing you could do right now is not meddle with it. Trust can only go so far. No, Drake is cool. I wouldn't hang out with them if they weren't. You can't help who you're related to, right? No, I suppose you can't, but that doesn't mean we have to trust everyone who stumbles into town. That's totally fair, and we do not need to keep having this discussion. No offense, but your friendship don't mean much, Diner Kid. You're friends with everybody. Even that Julius freak. Diner Kid? I know you know Avery's name. If I ever hear you call him that again. Sorry, Miss Winnie. Won't happen again. Don't apologize to me. Sorry, Avery. I didn't mean to be so dismissive. Y'all are right, though. I'm pretty friendly with most people in town. If my friendliness and ability to get along with anybody means I can't vouch for you, I guess that's that. Sorry, Drake. Look, I know it's hard to believe, but Drake is legit. They aren't gonna run to Tabitha. And that's great to hear. Your support is appreciated, but it don't change the fact that we can't know for certain that Tabitha isn't gonna get an earful of everything we say in front of her cousin. No offense intended, just looking out for our collective interests. That is fine. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? No, we ain't seen her. As you can see, we got a lot going on today. We'd appreciate it if you didn't butt in. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. I guess we should get going. Where is the Buzz achievement unlocked? You turn and leave the diner, Avery and Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. We should go to the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin. I can't say I get it, but there's definitely something she would do. That's definitely something she would do. You don't see it? Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know? Classic dog and cat situation. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Scarlet Mines. This all feels still like the introduction to the episode, but I do really want to explore as much as possible. I am a completionist through and through. As much as I'm able to complete here. A wall of bodies, picket signs, and megaphones in hand forms a human barricade around the entrance to Scarlet Mines. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry, I know these guys. I don't think Avery's supposed to be that far back. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple of days a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Look out, fellas. That's the boss's cousin. And Zach said these kids were just down at the diner acting suspicious. Don't engage. Interesting. I'm a shadow on the wall. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners collectively ignore you. Look, I know you have a well-deserved bone to pick with the Scarlets, but Stella doesn't have anything to do with the strike. Have you seen her or not? A YouTuber? She's the one on all the banned from property posters, right? We haven't seen her, and we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. Oh no, this isn't looking good. It's okay, just because she hasn't been seen today doesn't mean something bad happened to her. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. Can't say we'll be much help, though. We're just standing around here for the foreseeable future. Why are the cops here? Miss Scarlet requested we supervise the situation. The mine's the source of a lot of jobs in town, and she just wanted to make sure nobody did anything hasty while expressing their concerns. That's a polite way of saying they're here to intimidate us. A little reminder from the boss that she owns more than just the coal mines. Simmer down. Nobody's here to intimidate everyone, but the Scarlet Mines are private property. Miss Scarlet has every right to request some oversight during a tense situation. There's a lot more in us than there are of you. Oof. Yeah, I don't think talking to Tabitha is gonna do anything. I mean, I'm all for exploring, but I don't know, maybe I should try. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket line. You don't have to literally cross a picket line to get inside. There's always the hole Rosalina used to sneak in the other day. Yeah, I'm just gonna sneak in. You pull Kanika and Avery aside and tell them you plan to sneak in. I guess that will work, but I don't think it's a good idea for us to follow you in there. That is a good idea. I've never exactly been sneaky. Plus all the miners know me and stick out like a sore thumb. We'll just wait outside by the van. You make your way through the hole in the fence and sneak into the mine. Wayne? And no sign of Wayne. It's quiet today, empty beyond the ruckus at the front gate. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on hill. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment. No response. You knock again. Oh, for the love of... The door swings open. Oh, it's you. Should I go? Yeah, and try not to get yourself noticed. Ooh, Rodriguez. What were you two talking about? Ooh. They're not gonna tell me. So, I don't know why I'm being nosy, but... That's for me to know and you not to ask questions about. You have nothing to do with any of this, so don't get involved. Should I be worried about... Don't say another word. Just leave. I'll handle this. The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. Tabitha heaves a heavy sigh. Please, just forget you saw anything, okay? I can handle this on my own. I'm not gonna undermine you. Have you talked to them? Do you even know what they want? Not yet, but I'm sure that whatever their demands are, I can't meet them. I don't know how much I can actually do to make people happy. The mine has been run like this for decades. If I change anything, the whole thing would collapse. Metaphorically, I mean. But if I'm right, and things pick up soon, maybe I'll be able to give everybody a raise or shorter shifts. I'm not a monster. It's not like I enjoy working people so hard, but it's the only thing paying the bills. If overworking and underpaying your employees is the only way you can run this place, just close it. It's not worth it if you have to treat people like this. It means your business has already failed. No, I'm not giving up yet. I just need a little more time. If everyone could just have some patience, I can fix this. I can't throw away our family's legacy because of one bad week. I'm sure you didn't come all the way down here just to talk about the strike. Why are you here? Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see a friendly face, but you shouldn't be up here. This is my battle to fight. Stella is still missing. We've been looking all over town for her and don't have any leads. Tabitha groans with anxiety. You don't think Wayne... You said it yourself, he didn't have it in him. Okay, but what if I was wrong and he does have it in him? Stella's been known to disappear for days while she's been doing her videos, but I think we both know that's not what's going on. I'll see if I can figure something out. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna keep looking for Stella. I'll see you tonight. Let me know when you find her, okay? I don't want to sit around worrying about her all day. Tabitha's phone buzzes. I'd better get back to work. Stay safe out there, Drake. Call me if you run into more trouble, but please don't go looking for any today, okay? I don't need you to go missing too. I'm starting to love these characters so much, like I'm genuinely getting emotional. You leave the office, closing the door behind you. Ticket line. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you outside. You don't look like you found any new leads. Feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next move from there. Where to next? We should go to the cops, right? No, I disagree, but I'm just gonna say it for the sake of exploring all the options. Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? Do you think it's worth the trouble? Let's at least check her house first. The last thing we want to do is file a police report if it turns out Stella's been sleeping in the whole time. Yeah, great. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. You're right. We've been running around town getting all riled up, and meanwhile she's probably just sleeping in or something. I would have checked before we met up, but I was honestly kind of nervous I might run into some other horror from beyond the veil if I went exploring on my own. You make your way towards Stella's house. The door is as pristine as any old wooden door. No bloody handprints in sight, any telltale sign of Wayne absent. If something happened here, it didn't involve him. At least not at the front door. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. The house is quiet, the world outside muffled as you take a cautious step over the threshold into the muted air of the living room. No noticeable pug rushes to greet you at the door, and you have a feeling that no Stella is going to emerge from the shadows to sleepily greet you. Your protective instincts set in, and the muscles in your arms tighten, your shoulders straightening. If danger lurks ahead, you're ready for it. Okay. You said it, it's my fault. Fucking dude, no, chill. I'm gonna just enter her house. You step past the threshold and into Stella's house. The living room is almost exactly as you saw it the other day. I mean, her shoes are there, though. Aside from the corner of the room dedicated to Gretchen, Stella's house is almost like a museum. Everything's organized with a sort of tidiness you wouldn't expect from someone as rough and tumble as Stella, and only a handful of objects feel like they belong to her. Whatever happened to Stella doesn't look like it happened here. Doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm gonna forget that you said that, and just be thankful this doesn't look like a crime scene. Let's investigate the kitchen first. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple of cabinets are hanging open. A loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. The crust of the bread has gone somewhat stale, about as much as you'd expect after being left out overnight. Whoever left it there left many hours ago. It's a little messy, but it doesn't look like anything violent happened here. It's possible she came home, grabbed some food, and left in a hurry, right? Did she have somewhere she needed to be? She didn't say she had something she had to rush off to. Maybe she just had a panic attack after being possessed. But that was over 12 hours ago. I'd hope she would be home by now if that was the case. Is Stella the sort of person to stop back home to make a snack in the middle of a mental health crisis? Yes. And it's comforting to think that might be what all that happened. A panic attack is much more manageable than rotting ghouls or parasitic doughboys. Investigate Stella's bedroom. Wow, holy shit. Oh, the little plush Mothman. That's really cute. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. No streaks of blood and pus that might belong to a certain phantom miner. He hasn't been in here. You do notice, though, that her jacket is nowhere in sight. It isn't in her closet, and it wasn't on the coat rack in the other room. Stella's jacket is gone. The Letterman one wasn't on the rack in the other room, and it's not here. She didn't have it yesterday. Okay, I'm sold. Between this and the kitchen, she must have come home last night. And it seems like she was the one who decided to leave. No struggle or anything. I'm gonna check her computer. Oh, I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there, like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Well, maybe the computer was left open too. Exactly. If there isn't a password, maybe we're supposed to take a peek. Maybe we'll find the first note in an elaborate scavenger hunt she set up overnight. Sure, snoop away, but I'm not gonna take any part in this. I'll just be over here, standing in the corner of the other room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap with each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. Whoa, how do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. Check her open tabs. Discord. Oh. It would take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Her most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hidden Appalachia. Hey everyone, was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day, and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough, this is totally staged. Clear footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I googled ditchlings in some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I've got tons of footage. Look at this nest. They've been doing something to the animals in town, and they're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Mothstan says, okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. I believe you. Ugh, lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. The thread continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so number one, this isn't an ARG. I would never. And two, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommy Knockers Real. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. 2 supernatural events back-to-back nights. This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always gonna sell out to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Also, lol, doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Wow, poor Stella. Remind me to never be internet famous. Here's hoping my SoundCloud stays niche and underappreciated until the day I die. Check her search history. She hasn't visited any websites since Tuesday night. If she came home after last night's incidents, she didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related, a furious series of queries for various monsters and cryptids that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's that. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Thank God. I don't think there's any clues here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. It could use a few more houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. Aw, she still does this corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything. They're more for decoration anyway. Okay, I don't think we're gonna find much else here. Let's move on. Still life. Okay, so she probably came home last night, but she's not here now, and we don't have any idea where she might have gone. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hoped she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? We should go to the cops, right? I guess it wouldn't hurt, right? We are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. At this point, yeah. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper. And the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You entered to find Beau and Duke standing between you and the officer behind the desk. Now listen here, officer. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon. I'm telling you, she was valuable property, not some vegetable. We worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. The Scarlet Hollow police are spread pretty thin at the moment, gentlemen. Any property disputes will have to wait, if indeed there is a dispute to be had. Are you sure it wasn't some animal? I'm telling you, I know who stole her. That no-good bastard Julius Tremaine has been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways for all his life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I told you we was better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. Franklin seems to turn to you as you enter, though his impenetrable shades make it impossible to judge where he's really looking. Mayor's security guy. I'm a man of many hats, and all of them give me authority over you, so you best watch yourself. Okay. What's all this about a pumpkin? Julius stole our Big Betty, so we came here to report it. For all the good that did us, Officer Franklin here won't as much as write down a note that there was a theft for when the real cops get back. Fine, if you want me to take notes, I'll take notes. But there's no way to prove who the vegetable in question belonged to if there's no documentation. It's your word against his. I'm starting to think y'all are in cahoots with the bastard. What makes you think Julius stole it? You're poking a wasp nest, Drake. There's 100 years of history here. He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one on account he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He got himself confused about where the property line is, as always. We get our fair share of calls from Mr. Tremaine as well. Not that I'm at liberty to discuss confidential police information. I'd be perfectly willing to bury the hatchet if he weren't such a lying, pumpkin-stealing rat. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. I didn't know Julius ever talked to anybody. Talk is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding. Why is this pumpkin so valuable? He was darn near 2,000 pounds. Good God, she was gonna get us a blue ribbon. And now we're already missed our chance. The judgment was supposed to start today, and Here we are, still stuck in the holler and short our prize winner, with Julius Tremaine to blame. He practically spits at the name. Oh, and then he literally spits on the floor. That's disgusting. He ain't never coming to his door to answer for what he's done. Just hold up like the coward he is. At the very least, he could give us seeds from what's left of her so we can try again next year. She was good stock, I Betty. He's not even coming to the door? That's interesting because I haven't seen Julius since Tuesday. He's usually at a diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning Joe. So maybe he isn't the thief. Could be something happened to him. Mark my words, that man's a thief. You got any other ideas about who could have stolen our prize pumpkin? Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions. This Julius guy got to be huge. Can't wait to meet him. That's funny. Nah, he's a wiry fellow. You've probably seen him hanging around in the back of the diner. Usually comes in once a day to read his newspaper. Haven't seen him in a bit, though. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. That man's always had gumption. Ain't nothing in the world that can stop him if it means ruining my day. It could have easily been a bear or a mountain lion, any large animal. You think a bear would just roll a 2,000-pound pumpkin off without a lick of evidence? Fair. That's right, sir, that weren't no bear. We hunting folk, we know the signs. This was a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knows just what to do to hurt our family. Can't you try to help him out? Southern family soup. I'm sorry you folks have to deal with this. I appreciate the sympathy. We're used to it, just how things are. But just cause we're used to it doesn't make it any less illegal for him to steal. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Look, kid, I'd love to help, but the sheriff has a standing order to not step foot on the Tremaine homestead. The man loves his booby traps. Is that so? You just been giving me and my boy the runaround all morning? Deputy Franklin shrugs. Those booby traps have never stopped me. I don't make the rules. You'll have to take it up with Sheriff Huckabee. Or Hugby. If I may, sir, ain't that a mite bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. That's right, you ain't even doing the bare minimum right now. This isn't about courage, big man, and this isn't about being lazy, Mr. Calloway. This is about public safety, and it's about the sheriff's judgment and authority outweighing my own. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. Look, I'll pass it along when he gets back, but he has his hands full right now. I can't make any promises. You'd better. Okay. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. A missing person? Apologies, Mr. Calloway, but I'm gonna have to handle this first. Deputy Franklin makes his way back to his desk. From where? He's been there the whole time. Pulling out a few forms before returning to the front. If one of you could fill these out, please. I can take care of that. Thank you so much for taking this seriously, Mike. I know Stella has a tendency to go on hiking trips, but this feels different. Now hold on. You're gonna help them right away, but you giving me the runaround? That ain't fair. Mr. Calloway, this may be a matter of life and death. I'm afraid it takes precedence over a minor property dispute about a vegetable. You and I both know Stella's always tromping around them woods. It ain't something anybody needs to fuss over. So many ditchlings, yeah, I don't think I can say that. Thanks for taking this seriously, I guess. I take everything seriously. Duke scoffs. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? Can you arrest a ghost or read a question about are you part of a cult? Yeah. Looks like you're busy. We'll be on our way. I would love to use the other options another time, but I want to kind of keep it serious at the moment. Kanika hands the completed report back to Deputy Franklin. Thank you, ma'am. Get this filed right away. Good luck out there. I hope Miss Richmond's alright, and y'all find her soon. This department is biased, I swear. I'd almost say y'all are in league with Julius, but that would require at least some amount of competence. Woohoo! The Scarlet Hollow Police Department takes no sides in familial disputes. We are merely in pursuit of upholding the law. And we do a damn fine job of it, Mr. Holloway. Yeah, we'll be on our way. Just keep your nose clean out of there, Drake. Try to stay out of trouble. Whoa, what the fuck was that comment? Why won't they just do their jobs, achievement unlocked? I mean, could say a lot. I'm choosing not to say it. Well, at least we filed a report. Still, I guess finding Stella is gonna be mostly up to us. We've got to find out what's been going on with Julius, too. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. He usually comes in every single day. Maybe he's preoccupied with ditchlings. I just hope he's okay. One problem at a time. Yeah. Where to next? As you consider your next steps, you remember your appointment with Sybil. She seemed to be confident last night that Stella would be okay. Maybe she'll be able to help you find her. Aside from your cousin, she's the closest thing this town has to a real authority figure. Nobody ever seems to say anything to undermine her, except for her daughter, and daughters always clash with their mothers. This town trusts her. We should talk to your mom. I'm supposed to have tea with her today. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably gonna give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something, which might actually work. Who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's do it. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the three of you enter. Kanika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, you two. Hope you're both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom, it's just that Stella's missing, and Stella can take care of herself, unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to be running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. I thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Drake about. I don't think this is a case of she's actually being worried about Kanika. She's just, like, trying to keep her safe from whatever she knows is going on and refuses to tell us. I am becoming more and more wary of Sybil. She just seems to be hiding a lot. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to them. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay. You're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Drake. Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. Good thing Kanika has her mom looking out for her. She seemed so tired today, and you'll probably be able to find Stella without her. I feel like she'll join us later again anyway. And I'm so sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Drake and I could do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. You're right. I've totally left her on her own today. Fine by me. I wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Okay, but before I go, I did want to ask. Are you a witch? As flattered as I am that you think I'm that magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. So, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave you to your not supernatural, private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Drake. Aw, bye, babe. They make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Sybil motions towards the tea room. Follow Sybil. Okay, please have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here, only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over at the plant corner. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup of tea in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? Okay. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though. I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Perlan was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as her punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Perlan and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. But the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night when she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. This is how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. Okay. Just gonna sip my tea. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture. Let me finish the tea then. You close your eyes and take another sip and then another. It's delightful. The tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empty save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. I'm so interested in tea reading in general. Like, back home, I was telling my mom about the interest I had in, like, why people do it and what it was supposed to mean, at least in our culture. And she comes out with this really weathered book. I mean, it's barely held together by the glue, and it's super old. It's about reading coffee, basically. It's palm reading, I think, as well, but it's mostly like reading into coffee grounds. So that's kind of like, I guess, our version of reading tea leaves, because of the particular type of coffee that's been used there for a very long time. And there's all of these fucking options and their predetermined meanings, and she said they all knew that when they were younger. It was like a thing you would talk about a lot. And then when I was here last year, I got this tiny little book about reading tea leaves. I should really read it. I love that shit. I love tea. I love mystical bullshit. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit into the bottom of a cup. Ross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it in together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there is a central figure here, a cat. An enemy lurking in plain sight. The cat could be... The cat could be you. How do I know you're not the cat? Interesting question, yeah. An enemy lurking in plain sight. I'm not sure. Yeah, how do I know you're not the cat? That's ridiculous. Sybil is helping you, and if she was the cat, why would she warn you about herself? Pick someone else. Oh, I don't like that. See, I don't fucking like that shit. I do not like that. How do I know you're not the cat? Wow. Okay. Not a real cat, but... The cat could be Reese. The man is clearly troubled. I see him becoming some sort of enemy, with the way Dr. Kelly tries to keep people away from him. Maybe she knows something. That's just Joan being overprotective. With all his health issues, I understand why she tries to keep people away, as much as my heart hurts for the poor boy. In any case, I somehow doubt he's down there plotting some kind of grand betrayal against someone he just met this week. He's using what little energy he has. If I were you, I wouldn't cast your suspicions too widely. You would want to become paranoid that every new person you meet is a possible enemy. But you should trust your judgment here. Friend or family, the cat will make itself known soon enough. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard, and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out. Piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. I mean, truthfully, none of those options seem like they are correct, which I guess is the point. You wouldn't know that somebody's about to betray you. You would trust all these people. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. But bad stuff always happens around them. What happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what could happen if we let the danger encroaching on both of you and this town act unopposed. The ditchlings are multiplying every day. This is going to come to a head, and it may just be a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can could save your life, even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it's just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some you sad bee, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well, and I wish you luck. Hopefully, you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table, and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room, the bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Okay. Should I talk to Miles? You seen any weird rocks around town? Yeah. You? He smirks. Clearly this is a very sick burn, and you feel bested by his wit. I read that as a question, and I was being mocked. So apparently I am I have no power over teenagers. Ghosts are real. Just thought you should know. Yeah, I know. I've seen tons of videos of ghosts doing stuff on the internet. I'm not 12. Okay. I'm checking on Kanika. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Oh, Drake, what's up? Can I come in? Yeah, let me just straighten up. You hear frantic crumpling and clinking and shuffling as she tidies her room. Okay, come on in. Kanika's room is a sort of place that's stuck between the past and present. Faded stickers from her childhood line her bookshelf, and boxes of packed belongings sit in the corners of her room. This is cool. Love the vibes. The terrarium on her desk catches your eye. To anyone else, it might seem empty, but you easily spot the creature lurking within. I don't usually have people over, but don't judge me too harshly for the state of this place. Ooh. Romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to, and will lock out romantic arcs with any other characters. I don't think I'm gonna do that, no. Are you packing for something? You motion to the stack of cardboard boxes. That's all my stuff from college. I never really unpacked. It seemed like a waste to unload everything. It's not like I'll be staying here long term, so I just have to pack up again eventually. I don't know what is in her terrarium. I can't tell. And the game's not telling me, but apparently the character knows, so cool. I guess I did move back over a year ago, so these boxes have just been sitting here unopened for a long time. But any day now I'll load them back into the van and get out of town. Any day now. I'm going to investigate the clinic. You should come with me. I was hoping to be able to check in with Reese sometime today. I want to ask if he knows anything about Stella and, make sure he's okay after everything that happened at dinner. Yeah, screw this. Why did I even listen to my mom in the first place? I don't need to sit around in my room just because she said so. I'm really worried that I may have done something wrong here. The two of you make your way back into the hallway. But before you make it to the stairs, a light turns on, startling both of you. Sybil is creepy as shit here, okay? I thought you were going to get some rest, Kanika. You should really get back to bed, or the cold of yours is only going to get worse. But I still have a lot of energy. I don't feel like sitting around. I don't think I need to. Of course you do. I know you best, and you just haven't been yourself these past few days. All this running around has been a detriment to your health. Miles and I want to see you healthy. You hold this family together. You shouldn't get between a mother and her daughter. Sybil knows what's best here, and Kanika is more than capable of speaking for herself. I really don't like this. This is some real fucked up controlling shit. I don't like it at all. Why are you making her confront her mother? You barely know Kanika, and yet you're trying to drive a wedge between her and her family. She's clearly being pushed to her limits. She can't keep up with you. You need to let her rest. You remain silent. Kanika sighs. I'm sorry, Mom. I know I've been neglecting the general store, and I let Miles run off the other day. That was so irresponsible of me. That's all right, Kanika. He could have gotten hurt, but he didn't, and it seemed like you learned a valuable lesson from the experience. Now let's get you to bed. You just need another day to recover, then you can get back to all this town mystery business. Drake, you'll be fine without her until tomorrow. My mom is right, Drake. You go on without me. I fucking hate this. Just the silence, the way she's just very menacing about the whole thing. This is very uncomfortable. I feel like she knows something really fucked up is gonna happen, and she is fully willing to sacrifice me. But not her kid. Obviously. I don't like this. I don't trust her. See you later, okay? Before you can utter another word, Kanika returns to her room. Sybil's eyes carefully watch you as you leave and make your way back to the main street alone. Fuck you, Sybil. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guarding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. I can't tell if that's like a post or Wayne waiting for me up there. The side of the mountain looks really close to the terrace, maybe even close enough to jump. What are the odds that the terrace door is unlocked? Make your way up the hill and onto the terrace. You make your way up the hill and survey the terrace. This should be easy. You take a step back and jump. You land and try the door. It's unlocked. The upstairs of the clinic feels like a decommissioned museum. Old furniture is covered in plain white sheets, and a thick layer of dust coats the floor. This place hasn't seen any use in years. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You've been caught by its gravity and overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Turn on the lights. The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Rick? What are you doing in the morgue? A vampire! Am I interrupting something? No, I was just practicing, I guess. Sometimes I just come down here to rehearse. I see. Being among the dead brings you comfort. I guess. I haven't really given it a lot of thought. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disproportionately solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of look possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Why wall needs you thing but wall, stand and wait, let me inside. Let's get behind that wall. There's a stone carving on the other side of the wall, and I need to see it. Reese glances back on the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dock out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the dock out of our hair? Yeah. If I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true anyway. How'd you learn that little trick? When you're a teenager whose doctor mom won't leave you alone for 2 seconds, you learn how to make it happen. Okay. Sounds great. Lead the way. Sweet. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll pick up some orange juice, and some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask, I know you're probably busy. It's no problem, it doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked. The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement raising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. God, man, I don't like this. As you take a step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records with your family name on them. Read the files. Reese stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Ooh. Fucking Perlan's death certificate. Cause of death, sleep apnea. discovered by her daughter Tabitha. Chrysanthemum Scarlet. Damn, no autopsy performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum. No wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. Oh, I think it's pretty. Edwardine's death certificate. Okay. Heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter Pearlan. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of normal old person illness. Enoch Scarlet. Cause of death far off cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries, lacerations to neck and body, consistent with fall from great height. An actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. Other death certificates. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets, whose names aren't quite as familiar. Crushed in mine, body not recovered. Signed by his brother. Okay. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. Must have been Edwardine's brothers. Infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet. Stillbirth mother, Edwardine. Complications during birth, no doctor present. Home burial. Presumed dead, signed by mother Edwardine. Alexandria, the owner of the doll, so she went missing. Mary Bell, age 17. Complications during childbirth, signed by her mother Edwardine. That's a lot of kids to outlive. Time to whip out the old string and cork board achievement unlocked. Reese's eyes flick up to the doorway, and a second later you hear the sound of the front door handle being turned. His hand is on your shoulder before you even register what's happening, and you're pushed back and out of the view of the front door. Shit, I'm not supposed to be in here. We gotta hide. That really was quick. He hurries to the closet door, motioning you inside. You slip inside and squish yourself into what little space is available in the nearly full closet. Reese is close on your heels. You let him in. Together, you listen as the doctor makes her way to some room deeper into the clinic. In the silence of the tiny closet, every breath seems too loud, as if you could expect Dr. Kelly to hear it from wherever she was across the house. We'd better wait a second just in case. I'm not gonna flirt with him. I like Avery, so y'all gotta deal with it. I'm just gonna quietly wait for the danger to pass. The two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths, as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards, broadcasting her location, all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. The footsteps return, they get louder, approaching the office door, then they stop. Much to her relief, she opens another door, leaving the main clinic. We're in the clear. Probably only got a minute or two until she comes back, so let's make it count. The medical supply room is probably our best bet. If any other room in the clinic is likely to have a fire axe, it's probably the room full of chemicals. This way. He motions you down a hallway, slipping through a slightly ajar door of what you assume to be the supply room. He's just like going along with it so quickly. What the fuck is that on the table? Yes, there it is. Keys. Here we go. He rushes over to the cabinet that contains a bright red axe, pulling the glass door open. Your axe. A splash of brown catches your eye. There's a small spring of what almost looks like furry berries, with a wide 8-pronged leaf still attached at the base. The end of the spring is leaking sap onto the countertop. It's fresh. Now we can... Reese stops mid-sentence as he notices you staring at the plant. Stops to pick it up. Does she make her own medicine? He puts it down, but not before breaking off a berry and sliding it into his pocket. I don't think she's allowed to do that. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just for storing stuff she orders from patients from a pharmacist in Brevard. Why would she be making her own? Before you can answer, the two of you hear something in the distance and turn to listen intently. That was the door from the house. Come on. If we hurry, we can get back downstairs. I'll run interference. Go downstairs, quick. You hear her approaching now, floorboards creaking in the hallway as the other side of her office. You follow Reese's instruction, once again, starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to get rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all the industrial clanging you listen to. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. Can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. You at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door at the top of the stairs close. The sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. Wall now, yes? You listen to music that sounds like a wall being broken down. I should warn you, something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Reese smiles. Good. Feel like I've been missing out lately. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Let's do this. Have at it. You approach the end of the morgue, axe practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. It's like cutting through butter. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your effort. Holy shit. Yeah, it sounded really soft, that wall, actually. The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff. Cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Whoa, are you okay? You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you weren't gonna come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research and I found us an alternative. We don't have to worry about anything from here on out. I promise. I went to talk to the witch. Witch? But that's nonsense. It's alright. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you'd slipped into a coma or something. You tore down the wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. There was a lot of snakes on it. I saw the goat head again and a lion head again, but I'm not sure what they all mean yet. I feel like people on the Discord have been continuously making really, really cool observations, predictions, theories, and I've just not been active there in months. Are you okay? The mountain didn't collapse on us, no ghosts. How did I get here? I carried you. You carried me through a hole in the wall and up and down a bunch of stairs? What? It wasn't super far or anything. I just picked you up and carried you. I might be sick a lot, but it doesn't mean I'm made of paper. You're so a fucking werewolf. I can still do things normal people can do. Normal people can't pick me up like I'm a child. You must be really strong. Really? Thanks. I guess I don't have much of a frame of reference for what normal people can do. Interesting. I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. I think these are visions of things that actually happened. Whoa. I wonder if you'd see anything else if you went back in there. Or if there are more around town. Maybe if you collect them all, you'll finally unravel whatever the big mystery is. Seems fun. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No. I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come too in the morgue. What ambulance? There's no ambulance here. I should probably get going. Stella's still missing, and the stone here finally stopped yelling at me. That might be a little tricky. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there's no way I was gonna take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I went ahead and blocked my door, and so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. You locked your door. Of course I did. I put a chair in front of it. It's never failed me before. We don't need her coming down here to finish me off, or whatever it is she might do now that I know her treatment plan has been all these years. I need to leave. Hold on. But now we're just locked downstairs. Maybe I was a little panicked when I found out what she'd been giving me. And she was upstairs talking through the door, saying I should take my pills, and I just took what few precautions I could. Not ideal, but at least it buys us time to figure out what to do. We should treat her as a serious threat. This might sound strange, but I think she's gone to some desperate lengths in the past. There are these weird memories I have. I always assumed they were just dreams or hallucinations, but now I'm not so sure. I think she's used tranquilizers on me. Other times that I've gotten too unruly for her. I don't know how much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the lengths she's willing to go to keep me under her control. We'll wait until she's asleep. Then at least we can get out the basement and we can figure out what to do from there. But why would your mom poison you? I don't know. But the internet says this is castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. Ooh. But a cops. No matter what, we should get out of this basement soon. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go through. I didn't even finish high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up back down here. One step at a time. Let's just start by waiting out your mom and getting out of here. You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror for the rest of my life. Let's see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which is always said was for burglars, but I assume it was just another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them anyway. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. God, I'm gonna get mauled, dude. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. You could always draw me. This is a terrible, terrible time to flirt. Do whatever it is you do to kill time, preferably something that'll help me ignore my mounting anxiety. Just go with the flow. So if we've got some time to kill, we could always watch a movie. I'm really into horror movies, I'm sure you could tell. And it's been so long since I had somebody over to watch one with me. And I believe I owe you a showing of Shi no Chi, Deathblood. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people will react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time, but with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films and they're all interesting, but this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person. God, he's making me so nervous, dude. Don't talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in his energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. I'm glad you'll be able to have a social life, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Reese smiles to himself. It's still hard to imagine, hard to believe after all these years alone that that's gonna be my reality. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now. What with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. Reese, are you feeling okay? I'm just jittery. I've had a really weird day, and I think being down here is making me anxious. I'm all hopped up on adrenaline. Maybe waiting out the dock is a bad idea. The longer we wait, the more likely it is she'll figure out that we're on to her, and it would be too easy for her to lock me up again and be thorough about it this time. There's a knock on the window. Break. Don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. I think you might be overreacting. That's only because you don't know what kind of danger you're in. I know what it's like to have my life stolen by someone else. It destroys you in every way. But I'm not weak anymore. No more cowering. If someone tries to hurt me, I should hurt them back. And I can do the same for you, Drake. We're in this together. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bobbles out from the canvases. His ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Holy shit. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Oh my fucking god. Leave us alone! In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. Oh my god, dude. I want to run from the stairs, but I feel like sudden movement is just gonna make him maul me. Oh, fuck, what do I do? I'm gonna stay where I am right now. We aren't safe, but I can protect you. I can protect the both of us from the people who want to control us. I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. Oh my god. Just follow Reese and see how things play out. Try and leave. Wait for Reese in the basement. Try to warn Dr. Kelly. I'm gonna try to warn Dr. Kelly. You make your way to the door that beckoned you yesterday. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. Open the door. You grasp the handle and turn. Doc! Holy fucking shit! Oh my god. I'm rolling out the way. You're quick to follow her command, your body falling forward and rolling gracefully out of harm's way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out of his chest, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're gonna have to try harder than that, you... How did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks of wood, Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Fuck, I'm gonna run to the morgue and grab the axe. I need to arm myself, I guess. You rush down to the morgue, practically flying down the steps. The axe is still lying on the floor where you and Reese left it. You pick it up. A feeling of safety settles in your chest as you grip the wooden handle. At least if you have to fight, you're prepared. Hey, Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Drake. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. Oh my god, what the hell is your son, ma'am? Oh my god. What the hell is your son, ma'am? I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everyone said raising a teen was gonna be a bitch, but they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. I'm gonna head there. Yeah, fuck. Axe in hand, you rush up the stairs from the morgue and into the medical storage room. I'm here. Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't gonna cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Drake, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just gonna shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I just hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt my entire life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. Oh my god. What the fuck do I do? Wayne, help me, I guess. He's a little tied up at the moment. Not anymore. Reese cries out in pain. Oh, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? You see for the briefest instant something coming out of Wayne's sleeve. Just a flash of pale yellow, then it's gone slithering back into Wayne's clothes. I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Okay, fuck. I'm doing as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find. Marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. Yeah, I'm heading through the safe room. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back into the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves the door open, slowly breaking apart the mess of paint that it's sealing shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Wow. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Holy shit. I felt that it was honestly too drawn out, too slow, too uneventful in the beginning. And I knew Reese was gonna fucking transform into something weird. But this is awesome. It's amazing. What is this room? Old x-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra, thicket nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe just a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. God. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I keep having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. But then, all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. What the fuck? What in the Star Wars Episode 1? How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages, so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf, but if he is, he doesn't follow any of the full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him when he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it, but he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess I'll just have to remain a mystery. That'll just have to remain a mystery. Well, fuck. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I'd been giving him increasingly high doses of clonalpin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all these drugs, and it was already suspicious and I could lose my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. It was fucking Sybil. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Who approached you, and what did they say? It was Sybil. Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. That's all I have to say about that. Oh my God, Sybil, what did you do to me? She did something to me. Fuck. God, the relationship between you seems so difficult, I guess. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready, but he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was gonna be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going around eating people. How do you know he's dangerous? Fuck off. I'm not asking that. God. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. What's the game plan? Both short and long term. Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. And if you can't, it doesn't really change much. Whether he's a willing captive or an unwilling captive, it doesn't matter. He's either under my constant supervision or he's dead. That's just how this has to go. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare into the hallway. Fuck. Holy shit. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers, this is our shot. Obviously, I'm giving them to her. Jesus Christ. You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. The alternative is she dies. She dies, and God knows who else, because he is not stopping. Dr. Kelly quickly loads them into her gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Drake, I thought we were in this together. Thank God. Dr. Kelly sighs heavily, staring down at the warped figure of her son. I can drag him into the safe room on my own. I'll meet you at the front when I'm done. Yeah, I'm gonna leave her to it. I wasn't gonna kill her. There's no fucking way. You return to the entrance of the clinic. Everything is quiet now, only streaks of paint where Reese's minions had once roiled out of the cracks in the wood. Achievement unlocked, keeping the status quo. I hope you understand that this needs to stay between us. I don't care how much you feel like you need to share what just happened with other people. The more people know about this, the more trouble it is for me and for him. I don't need any more well-intentioned escape plans. God. There's also a magic stone in your basement and a hole in your wall. Thought you should know. Okay, thanks for the heads up, I guess. Can I come visit him? As long as you don't bring anyone else along, yes. That would probably be good for him. I can't promise he'll want to see you, or that he won't have some harsh words if he does, but I don't want him to be entirely isolated. You think he'll let any of his friends in on this? She heaves a sigh. I'll have to think about it. We'd run the risk of one of them trying to break him out, but if he's stuck in a windowless room with no internet and no friends, it's a one-way ticket to insanity. Then I'd have an insane monster on my hands. Stella in particular would be a problem. That girl never knows how to mind her own business or follow other people's rules, and she would have absolutely no fear of what might happen if he was cut loose. Kanika, I might consider. She's got a bit of a bleeding heart and a pretty inflexible morals, which could be a problem. On the other hand, I don't know how well she could keep a secret. And if Stella found out, then Kanika could probably be convinced to do a jailbreak, and it would all blow up in my face. You can probably tell I've put a lot of thought into this. It's the same calculation I've been doing for years, debating whether or not I could be fully upfront with any of them instead of just pushing them away and hoping they didn't notice what was really going on. She sighs again. Maybe I'll get him a kitten or something, like they did for Coco the gorilla. Might as well give him a tire swing while I'm at it, some enrichment for his enclosure. I hate that I have to do this to him. I'm sorry I came here. I feel like this is all my fault. I tried to get you to stay away for a reason, but what's done is done. He was bound to figure it out sooner or later. I'm just glad there was an extra pair of hands around. It could have gone a lot worse. As much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I have to get to work. Gotta clean this place as best as I can before tomorrow. And you should probably get home. It's dark. I'm sure your cousin is worried about you. If this is how this episode ends, it makes me wonder if either Mythical or Hot even would have something very noteworthy in this episode, because I didn't feel like there was a moment of a trait sort of allowing anything that's sort of a best ending. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna hug her. You put your arms out for a hug. No offense, but I'm not a hugger. Denied. Sorry, misread the moment, Dr. Kelly. See you later. Yep. She firmly escorts you to the door. It closes behind you. Interesting that I didn't see Wayne. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day, crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. It's time to go home. You don't get far before you're interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Oh God, Gretchen appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. She seems distressed. She whines as she stares up at you from the ground, eyes desperate, anxiously jumping back and forth, darting away when you try to lean down to her. What's that girl? Stella stuck in follow her. Gretchen, where's Stella? Gretchen whimpers, then tries dragging you towards the woods. I'm following Gretchen, obviously. She nervously runs ahead of you the whole time, constantly looking back to make sure you're still there as she leads you into the dark woods. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a two-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. I'm assuming this is where her parents died. Gretchen runs up to her and sits in Stella's lap. Gretchen, you're back. Don't scare me like that again. You sit on the log beside her. Drake, how did you... Wait, did Gretchen come get you? Wow, she must think I'm dying or something. Yeah, Gretchen found me. She's a good girl. She really is. I'm gonna remain silent, hoping Stella says anything. Stella faces you for a moment, desperate eyes trying to force out words, a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud. And then she turns back to the road. Yeah. This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained and the sun was finally coming out. Oh, God. Oh, honey. God. Dude. Bro, her parents got fucking decapitated? Are you kidding me? Sorry. I know that's probably a bummer to talk about. It was awful. It really messed me up for a while. Stella, that messes you up for life. What the fuck? Yeah. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after the accident that just feel like they never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel I don't even remember filming. It's scary. At least it hasn't been like that for a while, thank God. Never talked about this stuff before with anyone. Thanks for letting me in. Stella gently reaches over and takes your hand, her calloused palm fitting into yours. Squeeze her hand, and her grip tightens. It's strong and comforting. You can tell she feels felt, and so do you. The two of you stare out at the road. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. And last night happened, and I ran out there to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again, or seeing them all messed up and dead. Just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. We could always wait a little longer. Stella nestles into you, her well-muscled shoulder relaxing against your body. You share each other's warmth as you both stare out at the quiet mountain road. Gretchen pants lazily in Stella's lap. Nothing happens. Nothing continues to happen for a few long minutes. I think I'm ready to throw in the towel. It's not like I would want to see them like that anyway. I guess I just came out here hoping I might get a chance to say goodbye or something like that. Since I didn't get the chance when they were alive. Yeah. Just because they weren't there, it doesn't mean they don't love you wherever they are. That's a nice thought. I've thought a lot about what might come after, whether they're somewhere else or if they just stopped existing. I guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. I hope that means that there is a good version too, where they're still on that long car ride, listening to Dad's tapes, with a place in the backseat for me when I eventually catch up to them. And then it won't matter that I never got to say goodbye. You could always say goodbye now. Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. Gonna be fine. She's silent again, as if waiting for a response, but it never comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. That kind of felt better. I don't think I realized how much I'd kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her laps, tags jingling in the quiet night air. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. She doesn't need to hear about this tonight. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. I don't suppose I could ask you to walk me home. Of course, lead the way. She smiles. She scoops Gretchen up under her arm, and the three of you make your way back down the mountainside, returning to the sleeping holler below. And this is me. Do you want to come in? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Stella. I think it's better if we just stay friends. Stella's expression sinks a little, though she tries to hide it. Oh, geez, but I thought Tabitha... No worries. I'm just gonna not awkwardly head inside and see you tomorrow. But thanks again for coming out here to find me. I didn't realize how much I just needed to talk to somebody. I'll see you tomorrow. She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. Time for you to get home, too. He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize it's paint, evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. Ooh, punch him. Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna let him walk me home. Shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you, in near complete silence. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure, but now I know. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella, or Kanika, or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. Who the fuck are you, dude? God. thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you gonna lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and I know that you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. While you do what you must. Thanks for looking out for me tonight, I guess. Anytime you find yourself in danger, I'll be there for you. I will always be there for you. You don't need to keep coming up with new topics of conversation to fill the silence. You're tired. It's been a long night. You should rest. Wayne remained silent for the rest of the journey back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbush. Go home. Wayne is definitely a friend, and I really think Sybil is not a friend. Maybe not an enemy, but not a friend either. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Going to bed too. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, trapped in that tiny windowless room, all his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But you stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. Achievements unlocked. The artist, Benoit Blanc, and Mixed Galaxy. This is the end of episode 4. Follow us on social media to stay up to date. God, I know that was a lot, but I'm really looking forward to just in my own time exploring the other traits, the other options, things that I've missed. I don't know. Avery kept mentioning checking up on Julius, but then we didn't even get that option, so that's probably for next episode, but God, if there's something you really want to see before I start just playing it in my own time, please let me know, because I will figure out a way to post that as well, at least the highlights. I am happy with all my choices. I don't feel like this episode had that crossroads moment of you have to choose one thing or the other, and it's neither of them are good, or there feels like a massive loss. There was just no question about it for me that obviously I was protecting Dr. Kelly. So if that was the big choice for this episode, I don't know, I feel like I did the right thing and it was easy. And I look forward to seeing what else comes up with other traits. So, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts that I need to just figure out, let this settle for a little bit. The body horror of Reese was incredible. Just like the horror elements of this game continue to impress me, and I really look forward to seeing the fallout in the next one. So, thank you very much for hanging out, and I'll see you super soon. It's good to be back. And bye for now.